This guy has been the commissioner of Drainage District 5 for a long time. We found that Commissioner Allan Thomas actually hasn't been elected for 30 years, but because of a quirky state law, he's remained the tax collecting commissioner of this King County storm drain district in Enumclaw. Thomas is a dairy farmer in Enumclaw. His family has owned a 150-acre farm there for more than 50 years. Thomas was elected in the 1980s as the commissioner who's supposed to govern the maintenance of 18 miles of open trenches that drain stormwater from this rural area. The audit released today says Thomas collected about $500,000 tax dollars from several hundred property owners in the district since 2012. But instead of maintaining trenches, the auditor found that money going to some specific personal things. $142,000 was paid for hay for Thomas's farm animals. More than $100,000 was spent on personal farm business. And more money went to a personal bank account and property taxes. Here's Washington Auditor Pat McCarthy.
Basically, he was paying himself and his wife and his son and really buying livestock materials and feed for his livestock. So it was going into his pocket. What that money was required was intended for was to clean the ditches in that drainage district.
But only a small amount of the money was actually
very small went into that. 83% went into his pocket.
And the auditor says that they don't believe that Thomas's son Alex was really part of this. So let's break down the numbers now. There was $413,000 misspent tax dollars, $66,000 more that was questionably spent, and that means just 4% of all that tax money collected since 2012 went to actual drainage district maintenance. I called Thomas this afternoon to get his reaction to the audit. His wife Joanne said that their attorney has told them not to comment.
All right, so since you started this investigation a month ago, have there been any other investigations on this man?
Well, definitely the FBI, we're told, may be looking into this as a public corruption case. That's what King County Council member Reagan Dunn says. The Enumclaw police have a case that's been sitting on a prosecutor's desk. It hasn't been charged, but certainly criminal charges could be coming here.
All right, Chris, thank you.